gave me a reminder that you've completed 15 years at Lumiere.
Yes,
My God, how 15 years have flown. I didn't realize it's 15
absolutely,
years.
absolutely.
Yeah, and for you, what? Was it feeling like 25 years or it was feeling like
No,
10
it felt
years?
like 15 months, less than 15 months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what have you enjoyed most of being at Lumiere?
I think what I really enjoyed is the fact that in some way I've been able to help Lumiere achieve its purpose, and that has been very meaningful for me because it is a way of making a difference to the lives of women,
Yeah.
which form a very pivotal part of our society.
You worked in large global companies. What are some of the challenges of working in a tiny workplace, in a small workplace, which is so strapped for funds and very hand to mouth, very frugal?
I think it is not challenges. I would say these are opportunities of working in a small place because you can really help drive towards three key elements of making an impact, and that is really purpose, passion, and learning fully. I think these are the three areas, in my view, which help us achieve what we do, and it's not easy in a large organization, whereas a smaller organization can be more nimble and you can really curate it to help achieve a common purpose, and the common purpose or a thread becomes a key element of exploiting the opportunity.
Yeah. So, years ago, when we invited Pankaj to come as a Lumiere coach, as a business coach, he was able to do a fine job to start us off on our change journey. And we've been on it now since Lumiere turned 17. So now we are 26, it's going to be next year. 10 years since we invited Pankaj to that. So bringing in this outside in perspective to hold the mirror to say how is it that we can strengthen some muscles, how can we let go of some bad habits, how can we take on something new and keep progressing. You've been a big shaper in this agenda, so you want to tell our audience a little bit about this.
Yeah. So, having been in a consulting space, it is always the intent is always to wear a hat and look at it from different sides of a prism, inside out as well as outside in, and be a little pragmatic in knocking on the hollows of a building and finding out where all we need to make a change or a shift, replaster and then strengthen it. And that's really what I think we need to do, and we have been doing so far. A big part of it also happened when we did the Gallup strengths and we became a strengths team. So there are two important elements there. One is the belief that you and all the members of the team had that this is something that's going to be life changing for us at
Yes.
Lumiere as people and as a company, and the impact it has on helping people achieve a work-life balance,
Yeah.
as well as happiness and purposefulness in whatever they do and are engaged in at Lumiere.
Yeah. Yes, you're right. Actually, strengths was very challenging. I mean, it was in that sense. We have now, for the size of our company, the amount of investment we make in people, from the assessment to those 6 interventions of coaching, and then the lifelong coaching that we give them, the support that we give their families as well. That's been a big differentiator, don't you think?
Yeah, I think so this also presents an opportunity in my view and a challenge, and that is really to say that though Lumiere is not a funded company, but it is driven by a social purpose, and to achieve that, obviously profits are not the only way to measure it, and the challenge and opportunity is to say how can we leverage technology, how can we leverage knowledge, and how can we leverage the fact that people have the best intent when they come to work. Building these three things together, how can we make this a viable opportunity for all the women to be able to participate on this platform and get back to work?
Milind, it's your birthday month and you're going to be 60. So oftentimes we meet people who are waiting to retire, saying, "Oh, I'm just retired," or "I'm putting up my boots." What is your attitude to work and what energizes you to come to work every day? Because I have not seen a flagging of enthusiasm from the time I first saw you going to work as a 25-year-old, and now you have the same enthusiasm as a 60-year-old. I mean, what inspires you?
I think I'm very attached to the purpose, and that is a call, and that drives me to get up every morning and get to work. And that's something that I'll keep doing. Number one. Number two, like I said, the other challenges that it does. How can we make everybody a better version of themselves all the time? And how can we together keep this place as a viable platform and keep pushing the bar of exploiting opportunities and taking the benefit of the opportunities that are available or are made available on the platform at every stage.
And if you were to say one thing that you wish we could do more of, or you want us to do as Lumiere differently, I'd like to know, because we'd like that to be something that we can do, because implicitly we trust your wisdom and knowledge when you say, I think we should focus on this in this year. So what is your guidance and advice to us?
So in my view, strengths has been a very powerful tool where all of us at Lumiere have learned to step back and reflect and pause and participate constructively in making decisions, taking opportunities head on, be ready to invest, be it our time, be it the money, be it technology, and look at a more long-term view of things. So a classic example is, during the time of lockdown, though business was low, none of the staff left or were asked to leave. And we continued that practice even for 2 years with the belief that, people are going to be engaged, they want to make the most of it. And a time will come when cycles always are cyclic, and you will always have a wheel a part of the wheel which was at the bottom is going to come up. And that's what we are trying to do.
Yeah. So the next 5 years, according to you, for Lumiere would look like what?
Oh, the next 5 years are very exciting because we are moving into the digital space. We are evolving. A lot of our conventional work that we have been doing, which is in the research space, is now getting commoditized. And it is important for all of us to stay relevant, be moving in a direction which is a digital platform, or what we call as solutioning, which is not limited to an activity, because a lot of these activities are getting they are getting operating out of a gig economy, and you are really competing with on one side the pricing and one side skill set and resource which is available today to diverse organization to tap into. So these are challenging times, and we need to have a Lumiere 3.0 to evolve and look at it so that we remain sustainable, viable, and a relevant platform for the next 10 years.
I've been riding this passion horse of mine, doing Lumiere events. Do you see this as a waste of time? Have you thought sometimes that it's taking time away from projects and people, and riding this hobby horse? Does that make sense to you?
To me, events is a very important part of the three elements that Lumiere has in its store. And the reason is quite simple. Lumiere's purpose is driven by women, work, and well-being. And these events really drive in those spaces. They impact women, they impact well-being, either directly or as a medium through somebody, and they provide an opportunity for people to be exposed to a platform where they can reach out. So I think it really rides on these three spaces, and they're extremely relevant, especially in today's times.
And any you've been associated with so many sectors that we work in. So the sector that you feel most passionate about that we work in.
See, in the last, it's a good space to be in by the fact that we have a diverse talent pool which has worked in diverse sector. That's an opportunity. We must stick to that because that also builds competency as a 360 degree perspective of life and work. Having said that, the next 5 years are likely to be more digital because people have tasted the sweetness of working digitally. Though these opportunities were always there, but nobody was ready for it. During COVID time, there was no choice. So having tasted it, we see different challenges in it. There are companies which are struggling to get people back to work. There are people who say, I'm happy working from home wherever I am. And these are challenging times, and that's the opportunity. And that's the space we need to skill ourselves in. Because that's not a skill that is taught in schools or colleges. We need to pick up these opportunities which are available and apply our minds and just ride on it.
So Milind, you have relentlessly gone and certified yourself, done new things, and I think even now the time you make aside for teaching at institutes, yesterday and last 2 days you've been correcting 100 papers.
Yes.
I don't envy you, but I admire you for all that you do, and thank you for making Lumiere one of your passion projects, because
I have learner in my top 5, so it comes naturally to me. And achievers. So
and for someone who I know is one of the most generous people ever, I'm always inspired by your generosity and how much you share with such kindness and grace with every person in the team.
So I always tell every person in the team, please let me know what I can work on, and I'll be happy to help you.
So you call yourself the Lumiere Sevak.
Yes.
And you like to do seva. And
I would love if everybody in the team actually ensures that I am kept busy.
So thank you.
Thank you very much.